morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to our weekly review of how religion impacts humanity. This week's headlines. A Pakistani Muslim extremist calls for the French president to be executed. In Nigeria, in Kano, Sharia police arrest 8 persons for eating during Ramadan. YouTube blocks Nigerian preacher T.B. Joshua over gay cure claim. A gay conversion ban has been called for in Northern Ireland. Irish president slams Northern Ireland's segregated school system. We have an update from the Rational Society of Australia. Poland activists urge people to think before ticking Catholic in the census. The Pope announces a marathon month of prayer throughout May to end the COVID-19 pandemic. A lesbian hairdresser is informed in a letter from church elders in Georgia, USA, that she will be publicly excommunicated. Archbishop Justin Welby tells the Church of England to stop using non-disclosure agreements. Enterprising pastors are conducting baptisms on the site of George Floyd's murder. In this video, Pakistani reporter Haris Sultan tells how a Muslim extremist is inciting people to kill Emmanuel Macron.
Have a look at this video that I shared yesterday. I put subtitles on this known extremist who's actually put a fatwa on my head as well and incited people to track me down, hunt me down, which they probably can't. But have a look how he's openly asking any French Muslim to go see French president and murder him. Have a look.
शहीद भाई ये बताएं जो फ्रांसीसी सदर जनरल से नबी पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की शान में गुस्ताखी की है उस हवाले से क्या वाजिब कत्ल है बस उसके अलावा कोई दूसरी बात नहीं जिस मुसलमान को नजर आए जाके मारे उसे और कोई दूसरी बात नहीं क्या बोलूं कहानियां सुनाऊं
He is harping on he openly says that any Muslim that sees the president of France he should go and kill him. We all know that it's easy to tell some other poor fucker to go and commit a crime while these people don't take any risk on their lives at all. Saying these things, inciting other people while sitting from the comfort of their own house.
While we are in Pakistan, shown in green in this map, educational institutions in Islamabad resumed in-person learning for grades 9 to 12 on Monday, after the pandemic-induced prolonged suspension. However, low attendance was recorded, and it was attributed to the call by clerics for street protests and a strike over the banning of a religio-political party. In the Islamic area of Nigeria, the Kano State Hizbah Board, otherwise known as Sharia police, arrested 8 persons over their alleged refusal to fast during Ramadan, when eating in daylight is forbidden. The executive director of the board, Dr. Aliya Kibiya, said the arrests were made following reports from residents of the areas. The statement said, the culprits were 5 females and 3 males, caught eating in the afternoon in the month of Ramadan. It further explained that the board would continue to conduct raids in all parts of the state to curb these developments. The Sharia police have also destroyed 1,975,000 bottles of beer, worth over 200 million naira. Dr. Naziru Yusuf Gawuna said that consumption of alcohol and all other intoxicants that can distort the mental capability of a person is forbidden in Islam. He emphasized that the Hizbah board was established with the aim of preventing evil social acts. Meanwhile, in the southern Christian part of Nigeria, T.B. Joshua, one of Africa's most influential evangelists, has had his YouTube account, which had 1.8 million subscribers, suspended over allegations of hate speech. A rights body filed a complaint after reviewing at least 7 videos showing the preacher conducting prayers to cure gay people. Also, Facebook has removed at least one of the offending posts showing a woman being slapped, while T.B. Joshua says he is casting out a demonic spirit. The preacher said he was appealing against YouTube's decision. In the video, T.B. Joshua slaps and pushes Okoye and an unnamed woman at least 16 times and tells Okoye, "There is a spirit disturbing you. She has transplanted herself into you. It is the spirit of woman." The video, which was viewed more than 1.5 million times before the YouTube channel was taken down, later shows her testifying before the congregation that the spirit of woman had been destroying her life, but she had been healed after the preacher's prayers. This is not the first time Joshua has been banned. In May 2004, the Nigerian National Broadcasting Commission banned TV stations from showing programs of pastors performing miracles unless they had been verified. There were accusations that some of the miracles were fake and were performed by actors. On Tuesday, politicians in Northern Ireland passed a motion calling for a ban on gay conversion therapy in all its forms. Opening the debate, Ulster Unionist Assembly member Mr. Doug Beattie said he was born a straight man and there was no fix or cure for him. There is no therapy that would make me a gay man, so why would we say that a gay man can be fixed or cured? He asked. Why would we say that there's a therapy that can change a gay man to a straight man? There isn't. It's ludicrous. Conversion therapy is humiliating. He said the motion was not about stifling religious freedom, but about banning a harmful practice. The motion argued that it is fundamentally wrong to view the LGBTQ community as needing a fix or cure. It passed by 59 votes to 24. Dr. Gary Adair Gilliland, who had conversion therapy in 2010 to 11, said, "My experience was in the setting of a religious organization. It was one-to-one work. It involved prayer, Bible studies, and teaching around opposition to what they phrased as same-sex attraction. It was really to reinforce that this was something that wasn't biblical and was to persuade and teach me that my homosexuality was wrong. It's a brainwashing technique to try to reinforce that shame, to make you, in many ways, feel like there is no way forward with your sexuality. I went through the process over 1.5 years. At the end of it, I felt I had nowhere to go. I felt completely destroyed by it in terms of my faith and completely isolated." Meanwhile, the President of the Republic of Ireland, Michael D. Higgins, has condemned the segregation of schoolchildren in Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland Humanists, which has long campaigned for a single system of education free from religious division, has welcomed this news, saying Northern Ireland must move to a single, inclusive system of education if there is to be peace and integration in the country. Speaking on the Late Late Show, Mr. Higgins remarked, "Who in 2021 can justify the teaching of children separately on the basis of belief?" He also stated that such policies were abandoning children to parcels of hate and memory that others are manipulating. His words came in response to a recent spike in intercommunal violence on the streets of Northern Ireland, some of which has reportedly involved children as young as 12. Currently, Most children attending schools in Northern Ireland are separated from one another on the basis of their religious backgrounds. In the vast majority of cases, children from Protestant families attended controlled schools, whereas children from Catholic backgrounds mainly attend schools run by the Catholic Church. Northern Ireland Humanist Coordinator Boyd Sleater commented, "Michael D. Higgins is correct. The events of the past few weeks clearly shows why the segregation of children along religious lines in Northern Ireland needs to stop. We hope the forthcoming education review will lead to a single and inclusive approach to education by identifying a clear path towards achieving this aim. A society that divides its children will never cease to be divided. If we want peace and integration, we must educate all our children together, regardless of background." In recent years, Irish governments have taken action to phase out religious selection in the majority of schools, which is referred to as the baptism barrier, reflecting that the practice is discriminatory and unpopular. The UK has made no such moves, and religious discrimination in admissions continues in roughly a third of British schools and in virtually all schools in Northern Ireland. Australian activists are attempting to eliminate religious privilege in their country. This report from our Antipodean correspondent, Meredith Doig.
And here's some news from Australia. Back in 2012, the then federal government commissioned a royal commission into institutional abuses of children, mostly religious institutions, to delivered its final report in 2017. Amongst its recommendations was that there should be a national redress scheme. Now, most religious organisations, including the Catholic Church, signed up to the national redress scheme to provide financial support and recompense for survivors of child sexual abuse. The only one that didn't was Jehovah's Witnesses. And on Monday we heard that they were suing the Charities Commission, which had threatened to revoke their tax-exempt status. Watch this space. The Rational Society of Australia has been pursuing the overtly discriminatory National School Chaplaincy Program, funded by the federal government but delivered by the various states. We've written to various equal opportunity and anti-discrimination commissioners in the states, pointing out that this program is overtly discriminatory in that it only allows Christians to access this federal money. Now, the Western Australian Equal Opportunity Commissioner has agreed with us, but he says now we should write to the Western Australian Education Department. So we'll now do that. And that's the news there is from Australia. See you next time.
Thank you, Meredith. Activists in Poland are asking people to consider if they are truly Roman Catholic when filling out the national census, hoping a more accurate picture of the country's makeup will challenge a government narrative of near-universal Catholicism. In the previous census, completed a decade ago, 96% of respondents claimed they were Roman Catholic, and this has been used by the right-wing Law and Justice Party to justify a series of controversial hardline changes that it supports, including stopping public funding of IVF treatments and a near-total ban on abortion. However, campaigners claim that some people tick the box automatically, and many young residents have their census filled in by their parents. They intend to challenge the assumed religious hegemony for the country's 2021 census, which will close at the end of September. I Want to Count is a social media campaign that seeks to encourage Polish residents to choose alternative answers, such as Christian, atheist, or deist. Last month, the Pontiff marked an online service of Palm Sunday by warning, The devil is taking advantage of the crisis to sow distrust, desperation, and discord, adding that the pandemic had brought physical, psychological, and spiritual suffering. The Pope, who has faced criticism over his reluctance to wear a face mask, will open the month of prayer on May the 1st with a Holy Rosary online broadcast. For 31 days, the recitation of the Rosary from the various shrines taking part in the month of prayer will be broadcast by Vatican News with the hope of ending the pandemic. A Georgia hairdresser who divorced her husband and is now in a relationship with a woman has been told by her church that she must repent for her sinful behavior or else be publicly denounced and excommunicated. Crystal Cox was informed in writing by the elders of Woodstock Church of Christ that they were concerned about the condition of your soul. Cox, who has been attending the church in Woodstock, 30 miles north of downtown Atlanta, for around 5 years, told her local news channel she was deeply hurt by the letter. When I opened it, I was kind of enraged, she told CBS 46. The Archbishop of Canterbury has said the Church of England should not use non-disclosure agreements after BBC Panorama revealed that they were being used to silence staff who were complaining of racism. Justin Welby said he had not been aware that confidentiality agreements were being used to stop people speaking publicly. He told Times Radio the document was rightly shaming, adding that he was horrified to hear the extent of racist abuse within the church. I have said many times that I am totally against non-disclosure agreements. NDAs are unacceptable. I'm just horrified by that and horrified by the fact of racism, he said. Together with the Archbishop of York, Stephen Cottrell, he has written to senior members of the church telling them confidentiality agreements are no longer to be used. The Church of England is releasing a report later this week which it says will include plans to address racism within its own ranks. India is a vast country, and a vast majority of its people are firm believers in destiny, always wrapped up in religio-superstitious mumbo-jumbo. So the government's bungling of health services does not elicit the vigorous, collective reaction among the people that it should do, virtually allowing the government to do whatever it wants. The outbreak of coronavirus has, however, changed all as the complacent, destiny-believing people find their relatives, friends, and acquaintances become infected by the virus and observe the completely collapsed health services. People are dying by scores in urban areas for want of hospital beds, medicines, and oxygen. There are queues of bodies at cremation burial grounds. Such horrendous scenes have never been seen before. Not wishing to miss a trick, some enterprising pastors are conducting baptisms on the site of George Floyd's murder in Minneapolis.
I publicly proclaim that I am connected with in the death, in the burial, in the resurrection. Hallelujah! Come on, Jesus!
Stay tuned on this channel for the live show Ask an Atheist with this week's guest, Roslyn from Ghana, starting in about 10 minutes. We will be back with our weekly news review on our platforms at the same time next week. Please like, share, comment, set the notifications, etc. Thank you for watching.